Hi, everyone, and welcome back to my podcast about Dystonia and Jack's Dystonic Journey. Sharing my stories with Dystonia and to help spread a bit of awareness for Dystonia. So, Dystonia for me affects me like in my neck, torso, my tremors are ongoing, and I've had that since I was 18 months old. And my dystonia has been ongoing since I was about 13, 14. Yeah, so I'll just share a couple of things with you. So basically, my dystonia affects my neck, torso, arms, hands, and dystonia can is where my brain sends false messages to the muscles, making them contract, twist, pull, and tremor. If you've seen my head in recent videos, some of the movements are shaking a lot. So if you're thinking I'm cold, I'm not. It's just the no tremor affecting the so dystonia can make me very tired and fatigued, and it can be very difficult for me to get words out at times when my dystonia is really bad. I have someone speak for me if my dystonia acts up. I do have injections in my neck to help even out my head, because my head tilts to one side when my dystonia is really bad, and like it just the botulinum toxin injections are very useful for me because my muscles are relaxed with that treatment, and it allows me to be clear, to be able to speak clearly, and it helps with my confidence. I've had many different treatments. Some of the treatments are like medical, and I've taken tablets for dystonia. I've taken I've had a system called deep brain stimulator, where the surgeons place 2 electrodes in my brain to help stabilize the dystonia. It works for some. It didn't work for me because I had an infection, which meant the doctors couldn't really experiment with the device whilst it was in. To have it again, I possibly would, but yeah, it's very difficult in terms of like whether it worked or didn't work. So right now I'm not looking at having it done. I may in the future, but it just depends on whether, because the technology will be more advanced when I have it, if I have it again, and hopefully it works for me, kind of thing. Because dystonia makes me very fatigued and tired. It makes like, for me, so dystonia in terms of being a spectrum, it's a spectrum in like, so botulinum toxin really helps my muscles to relax, and basically it helps me in terms of it helps my neck to seem a bit straighter, because when my dystonia is prevalent, it's quite noticeable in my posture. Probably as I'm sitting right now, you can probably see my posture. But yeah, it's more about like, so there is tablets, there's type of surgery called deep brain stimulation, and yeah, like I wanted to share my story, because living with dystonia, it can affect people in different ways. So the severity of the symptoms can vary from one day to another. So my muscles contract, which makes it hard for me to speak if it's in my neck. It makes it very, very difficult for me to speak to new people, and to so it has a big effect on my life. And make daily activities painful and difficult to do. It makes it is a lifelong condition and can get worse for a few years, but then remain steady. Occasionally, it can improve over time. For me personally, it's gotten a lot worse for the 10 years. 15 years I've had dystonia. It has gotten a lot worse. So in terms of making and keeping friends, I barely keep any. Dystonia for me is a huge communication gap, and can affect me anxiety wise, and it's often confused with other conditions like Parkinson's, like cerebral palsy, like a stroke, and like multiple sclerosis. Dystonia is caused by a problem with the part of the brain that I've talked about. So there's a scar. There's a scar on my cerebellum, which is the movement part of the brain. And it can be genetic, but for me, I'm kind of a black horse in terms of where it's kind of happened. So so it can be an inherited genetic problem for uh dystonic warriors. And more to the point that I've seen quite a lot of people who have dystonia, that they have had genetic, um so genetic inheritance, or inherited it through genetics. For me, it it was it, like, I haven't seen anyone in my family to suggest that it has been through genetics. I'm yet to take that test to see whether it was. Dystonia for me fatigues me. I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but like, it is important for me to stress that it does affect my muscles, which means that I tire easy. Yeah, like, Let me know in the comments down below how dystonia or any physical condition impacts you. Hope you have a good day and see you in the next one. Peace.